Hi, let's talk about Chapter 14, Trade, Communication, and Tourism. All of these jobs are in the tertiary sector, which we haven't talked about in detail yet. First, let's go over the vocabulary. Remote means from far, far away. Dirt means covered in soil. Lanes are marked paths that cars follow on roads and streets. Transmit means to send. So this dish here is transmitting a message to the satellite. Spoken means was talked about. Relaxation is when you rest. So this lion is resting. He's relaxing. And to recover means to get well. So you can recover from a broken foot, like this cute little fox. Okay, so the first sector is trade. Trade is a sector where you buy and sell a product. So consumers. Consumers are the people that buy a product. These people are consumers. They're in the supermarket looking for products to buy. Salespeople are the people that have a product and then sell it. This man, this salesperson, is selling a car to this consumer. Products are the objects that people sell. They can be anything from shoes to iPods to the paper that you write on. The product here is this car. Retailer. A retailer is a place where people can buy and sell products. So retail centers are shops, stores, markets, and fairs. And remote trade, from far away, people can also buy and sell products in catalogs. So they can order products using this magazine called a catalog, or they can order things on the internet. There are many different types of trade. There are small businesses and large businesses. So small business deals with small shops, and large business, as you might guess, deals with large shops. So here's a small store, probably has one owner, and here's a huge store from a big company, Carrefour. There's also retail trade and wholesale trade. Retail are shops that sell directly to consumers. So if you go into H&M, the salespeople sell you the clothes. Wholesale trade are shops that sell only to other stores. So wholesale shops buy lots and lots and lots of products. So anything could be in these boxes. Lots of light bulbs, for example. So a wholesale store buys all these light bulbs and then sells them to smaller stores. Maybe they sell some to this food store. Maybe they sell some to the store next to H&M in the mall. There's also national and international trade. National trade is trade that takes place within one country. This is Turkey. Here are different trade routes, right? So people are buying and selling products along these routes. International trade is trade that takes place among different countries. So these are all trade routes. South America sells products to Europe, sells products to Africa, sells products to the United States, etc., etc. The life cycle of a light bulb. So let's figure out how the primary sector, the secondary sector, and the tertiary sector all work together with trade. The primary sector. Metal and sand are taken from nature. So here's sand and here's metal. In the secondary sector, an industry uses the raw materials to make light bulbs in a factory. They heat up the metal and sand very, very hot, and then they make light bulbs out of those raw materials. And these light bulbs are then enter the tertiary sector. So the first step is publicity. Publicists let consumers know about the product. They say, our light bulbs are the best. You want these light bulbs because of reason A, reason B. The next step is distribution. Transporters take the light bulbs from the factory to the wholesaler, perhaps. So publicists let people know that these light bulbs are good. Then a wholesaler buys thousands and thousands of light bulbs. And then the wholesaler sells the light bulbs to smaller stores, smaller retail stores. And then the last step, the retail store sells the light bulbs to a consumer. So here's a happy consumer. She has her very nice light bulb. Also, we can talk about communication in this chapter. Communication systems. So means of transport move on communication systems, which let us move from one place to another. These communication systems connect us. So on the land, means of transport include cars, buses, lorries, and trains. A really old form of communication system was tracks, and these are dirt roads. More modern forms of communication systems are roads and motorways. A road is smaller, maybe 4 lanes, and a motorway has lots and lots of lanes. It's a big street. You can take people from one place to another. There are also railways, which trains travel on, and railway stations. Railways are these tracks, these rails that the trains travel on. And then a railway station is where passengers get on and get off the trains. And this is a picture of Atocha in Madrid. Also, we can have means of transport on the sea. And ships follow routes at sea. So here's a route from Portsmouth to Bilbao, for example. And as these ships follow the routes, they stop at ports. So here's a big port. You can also have transport and communication systems in the air. Airplanes fly on paths at different heights in the air. So this plane is higher than this plane, so they don't run into each other. The airplanes take off, so take off, and land, which is where they hit the earth, at airports. So here's some interesting information about transport systems. Also, we have means of communication. Communication isn't just a way to connect us from moving from one place to another. Communication is a way to exchange information and ideas. So communication, you can have personal communication. This transmits information to just a few people. So examples of this are the telephone or a mobile telephone, which gives us spoken information. Also, we have fax machines and email, which give us written information and images. We also have collective information, collective communication, and this is the media. And this transmits information to large numbers of people. Examples of this are television, which transmits sounds and images, radio, which just transmits sounds, print, which transmits written information, like in newspapers and magazines, and the internet. This transmits text, sound, and images through a computer or a mobile phone. And the last section is tourism. Tourism is when you travel for fun, relaxation, or to visit new places. So there are several types of tourism. One type of tourism is sun and beach tourism. And people go on these trips for fun and relaxation, and they go to coastal areas. And this is the most popular type of tourism. Nature tourism. People go and do activities outdoors. So they do nature activities like hiking, skiing, and mountain climbing, or going canoeing like these people. There's also cultural tourism. And these are holidays at historic or artistic places. Tourists can visit monuments, museums, or exhibits. And so here we have the Louvre in Paris, a really famous cultural museum for art. We also have health tourism. People go on holidays at spas for rest and so that they can recover from an illness. So this woman, we can tell she's at a spa because she's getting a massage. She's resting up or maybe recovering. And then there's also rural tourism. Rural tourism is when people visit small villages to enjoy their landscapes, their food, and their culture. We should also remember that it's very important to preserve or to keep nice historical monuments because they teach us about our ancestors. So in this chapter, we've learned about trade, communication systems and means of communication, and tourism, which are all part of the tertiary sector.